Hello, everyone. My name is Kindi. I'm a postdoc at CCL. Today, I'm going to talk about example-driven data discovery in data lakes. So data lakes are becoming more common in modern organizations. So they contain dumps of CSVs, databases, and so on. And they usually don't contain a lot of metadata. So for example, integrity constraints and other information that would help us link tables to each other. So if I were a data scientist and I wanted to find some data for my analytical tasks, it's very hard for me to know where to begin. And even worse, how do I know how to link those tables together? So which tables are joinable with each other, and that would produce the data that I'm looking for. The most naive approach is to simply do this process manually. For example, posting a series of SQL queries to explore the data and try to basically know which columns could join with which columns and join them and see if they would produce our data of interest. Now, there are some recent systems that would do data discovery in data lakes. However, those systems will assume that the user can write queries using a special language to express what they want. However, we have found that it's very hard for users to know what they are looking for, especially when they have no idea about the underlying structure of the lake and what data it might contain. So our approach to data discovery is to basically do it by example, because we have seen that it's much easier for users to express the data they want, give some examples of records that they want in the result, as opposed to writing queries. So these will simply provide a few example records, and then our system, DICE, will go to the data lake, try to find primary key foreign key relationships between tables, try to join those tables, and then hopefully produce the examples that the user has provided in addition to more records. So then, of course, we have the ambiguity problem, because we could have multiple join paths that we find in the data lake that would produce, reproduce the examples that the user has provided. So this is an iterative process where the user has to validate in each iteration some of the results that the system provides. And this way, the user will guide the discovery process until the user is happy with the final result. So I'm going just to show a quick demo right now. So as a user, I'm going to provide a few records containing a few Pink Floyd songs and their release country, and I want the system to give me more records like these. So the system will then try to find a few join paths from the data lake, and it will provide some examples for the user to validate, so that the system knows which records are good and which ones are not, so that the system can produce more of the good records and less of the rejected records. So now the user is getting all the Pink Floyd titles that were released in the United Kingdom, and that's basically the query that the user wanted to have answered. And you can see that the search can proceed very quickly once you only ask the user to validate the results instead of asking them to write complex queries. So this is an example-driven approach to data discovery that we think will support experimental data discovery that is very common in data science development. Thank you very much.